McDonald.
I rise to speak on the Select Committee on the Effectiveness of Australia's Government's Northern Australia Agenda Report, please.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now, this coalition government is filled with doers, especially in relation to Northern Australia, and it's just unfortunate I only have 5 minutes to highlight the huge strides being made in our Great North. I think the most important element, though, is the structural changes that we are making to those things that have been holding Northern Australia back. Two things in particular. One is the access to capital, and the second is the complete market failure for insurance. Now, on insurance, we have acted on this market failure in Northern Australia by announcing a reinsurance pool for $10 billion. And Warren Entsch, as the member for Leichhardt, has been working hard on this for the last 10 years. And now he and George Christensen, Philip Thompson and I have leaned in, and this terrific announcement has made an unimaginable difference to businesses that couldn't get insurance, to retirees and owner of strata title units who couldn't get insurance, and of course families where the cost of insurance has become so eye-wateringly crippling that they have been either uninsured or underinsured. Now, some put the estimates on the reductions of insurance premiums at 50%, which is a huge result on the back of this advocacy by our northern members. Again, this is in stark contrast to the Queensland's Labor government, which continues to charge northern Queensland residents predatory rates of stamp duty on their premiums, on their ever-increasing premiums, where they're now having a windfall gain estimated at around some $60 million a year being gouged out of the North Queensland economy. Water. We have been working hard on establishing feasibility studies and preparing water projects. The Big Rocks Weir near Charters Towers, $30 million in federal funding, but we are still waiting for the state government to finalise their decision to get the project started. There will be 200 jobs in construction and ongoing agriculture on 5,000 hectares of high-value land. Work has begun on Rookwood Weir near Rockhampton, thanks to $176 million in federal funding. Urannah Dam work is progressing northwest of Mackay. This is a terrific project, and it will require continued support to get it to construction stage, along with dams at Hughenden, the Richmond Irrigation Scheme, and of course the Hells Gate Dam. We've also funded a study into a water project on the Cloncurry River. There's the Lakelands project on the Tablelands, and of course the Mareeba Dimbula irrigation project, just to name a few. Last week I was fortunate enough to be at Kidston for the sod turning on the more than $650 million in federal funding project. This is the largest loan to date from the Northern Australia Infrastructure Fund facility, and that made up $610 million. The Coalition has restructured the NAIF's lending criteria to allow smaller projects that will create jobs and boost regional economics in the north. And in Queensland, the NAIF has supported projects with a total value of around $1 billion, supporting around 3,500 jobs and returning an estimated economic benefit of more than $2.3 billion. NAIF now has reached a contractual close of $989 million in transactions in Queensland alone, a critical point of economic enablement where design and construction activities commence and job creations starts. Some of those opposite like to throw stones at the NAIF, some from their cushy inner-city offices, but this is not just an insult to the Coalition. It is an insult to the hard-working NAIF staff who are based in the regions and making a real difference, and it is despite the numerous roadblocks to development put in place by the Queensland Labor government. There is so much more that has been done to increase the livability and ability for people to live and work in North Queensland and Northern Australia. The increase of the Medicare rebate, regional connectivity, the investment of more than $6 million in the latest round of regional connectivity programs to improve internet access for people in Northern Australia. resources, the expansion of the geosciences program, major transport corridors of growth. Our record in Northern Australia is plain to see and is a result of action from this government.
Thank you, Senator McDonald.